Start your season with recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the right. Start your week by installing your game plan. Kick your season off by starting your first game.
Oh, I hear you guys talking about Victory Monday. Only one way to get that. Let's see some hustle out there. We got a big game on Sunday.
Hurry up, here we go! 319! 319! Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90! Hot! Now let's go! Now let's go! 319! Hot! All right, here we go. 319! Set! 319!
Hey, man, that was great. I mean, you had a great day today. You're taking the first steps towards success in this league. But don't...
Kick your season off by starting your first game.
All right, gentlemen, we made way too many mistakes this week, okay? The coaching staff has gone in, we've simplified the game plan. Let's go out here and execute. Hey, we gotta execute to win.
Hurry up, here we go! 319! right, here we go. All right, here we go. Blue, land it. Hurry up, here we go. 319. Hot. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot. Hot. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Hot. Hot.
Bring your lunch pails, fellas. I need to see that workman attitude today. We got to get better today. What I want to know is, who's ready to get better? I'm ready to work today. You ready?
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot. Here we go now. Green. Set. 319. Hot.
Bring your lunch pails, fellas. I need to see that workman attitude today. We gotta get better today. What I want to know is, who's ready to get better?
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Hot. Hurry up, here we go. Green. Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Start the regular season by selecting your season goal. Meeting your season goal comes with higher rewards.
Bring your lunch pails, fellas. I need to see that workman attitude today. We gotta get better today. What I want to know is, who's ready to get better? I'm ready to work today. You ready to work? You ready to work? All right, then let's see it. Let's get out there and do it.
Set. 319. 319. Hot. Now let's go. 319. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39! Hot! Set! 319! Now let's go! Blue landing!
Welcome in, everybody. It's the 19.
This is Brown on the carry. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Well, 6-round picks, they don't normally step in and start on day one, that's for sure. But over the years, we've had some big names from that spot.
And obviously, Tom Brady, the biggest name of all, is a 6th-rounder, but there have been others. Antonio Brown, who's played some of the best receiver in the game. Alfred Morris. And I can tell you a quick one on Alfred Morris. When he came out of college and had the big rookie year, I went back to a lot of my scouting buddies and took my book with me and said, okay, what did you guys have him listed coming out of school? I couldn't find anyone who had better than a 6th-round grade on him. Most had 7th round and a good number undrafted free agents, so you never know what you're going to get.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
No, Jack, Patriot!
They'll run it here with Brown. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now it's Brown. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Ravens making their way out here, Charles, and a heartbreaking last-second loss to the Bengals Week 17 last year. Kept them out of the playoffs, into their season at 9-7. And, you know, since winning Super Bowl 47, they've now missed the playoffs for the last 5 years.
They want to get back to doing things the Ravens way, which means toughness on both sides of the ball. So they'll want to continue to run it with Alex Collins. They added Orlando Brown in at right tackle. They want better push up front. But they have to throw the ball better as well. So they added Michael Crabtree in free agency, and the 2 tight ends. Grabbed them early. Hayden Hurst out of South Carolina and Mark Andrews out of Oklahoma. Then flip it over on defense. Want to continue to flock to the football the way that they've done for so many years.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'll be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
On 3rd down, it's Brown. Oh, and now he bowls him over. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Throwing is Jackson. A right side catch by Crabtree. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. They'll try and run for it with Brown. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. So certainly an interesting. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in week 1. So do not press that skip button. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And his throw is incomplete. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
To throw is Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield.
And the Ravens taking the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. Fights off the defender. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now Jackson on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Lorenzo Alexander in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick, and they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. They'll run. This is Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I tell you, on 4th and 1, when you're way back on your side of the field, I thought this might just be an attempt to draw him off and get the first down that way. But they were going for it the whole time, and they wind up getting it.
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that, but I think that they were right about this one.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry, good pickup on 1st down. Jackson caught left side to Crabtree. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. A reminder, 4 more games set to kick off later this afternoon. Chiefs, Chargers, Seahawks and the Broncos, Redskins and Cardinals, and then the Cowboys against the Panthers. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They go play action now. Jackson. And he is going to be wrapped up and slung to the turf. Lorenzo Alexander in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Tre'Davious White with a pick. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets it down to the 48. Enough for the 1st. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. They worked very well there for a 1st down.
And he'll take it down shy of 45 at the 46. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
I think with backbone of this offense, we know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it is incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it. This time doesn't work out. And the Bills are going to get the football. Back. So that... The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now it's Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Ravens on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Jackson to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson, and he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Watch the run. Watch the run.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on 4th down. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Buffalo, you can't ask for a better start.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Cincinnati for the home opener. Standing by, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in...
Watch him now, Barney!
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
The numbers for Brown from a week ago, 24 carries, 97 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. With your 6th-round pick, not many expect them to jump right in and contribute, but he's done a pretty nice job.
As a 6th-round pick, you'll come in and just work harder. That's part of what goes into it because you want to prove you should have been picked higher. But we've seen 6th-round picks come in and play very well in this league. He will have the same opportunity.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So they have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They had
the first NFL touchdown pass for the former Heisman winner Lamar Jackson. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
And there it is. Tally it up.
And on the ground they go with the running back. Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off. Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 3rd down, that's Brown. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. And this is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the... The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own side.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. And they've got it here with a first down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And they'll run it here. Shelling through the defense. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a yard and a break. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Jackson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just... The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Love the run right there, and when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. He's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked him. Those types of runs make you think was point.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. John Brown with 2 touchdowns. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end. They go play action here on first down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. Well, look at that, Chuck. A rookie pick. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42. And just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day in the play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get him the first.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards, and he'll take this one down to the 36. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. The Ravens averaged exactly 4 yards per rush in 2017, and that's what they need here, 3rd and 4. From the gun on third down, Jackson to the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On third down, it's Brown. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. John Harbaugh not afraid. And now here come the Ravens. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. And on the ground they go with the running back. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time, doesn't.